Are personal injury settlements taxable in Massachusetts? No. Good afternoon. I'm Neil Burns. I'm an attorney here at 6 Beacon Street in Boston. My partner Roshan Jain and I represent victims of legal malpractice and personal injury. And in personal injury cases, generally, most of the time, 99% of the time, the award you get, the settlement you get, is not taxable. So there's a bunch of different categories. I'll go through them, but that's the general rule. And you absolutely should talk to your attorney and your tax advisor before accepting a settlement if you don't understand the consequences of it. So pain and suffering, that's the main part of most personal injury settlements. It's not taxable in Massachusetts. So you get in a car accident, you break your leg, you've got a lot of pain and suffering, your leg is a different length, or you'll never run the way you ran before. The insurance company pays out the policy. Hopefully it's a big policy, and that policy, the net result that you get is not taxable. Medical liens, if you pay out a medical lien, that's not taxable. Medical bills that you get reimbursed for, that's not taxable. There's an exception for that if you've deducted it from your taxes, but that's not typical these days, and there's ways to work around that if you're careful and you work with your attorney on that. Property damage, your motor vehicle, the money you get on that to replace your motor vehicle is not taxable. The interest, a lot of people don't know this, but interest on a judgment is 1% a month or 12% a year. It's not compounded, but if a case is in suit for 2 years, that's 24%. So if you win $100,000, it's $124,000. That's not taxable. So this is a good law with respect to personal injury cases because you're injured. The government's not taxing you when you finally get some type of compensation for it. Same thing goes to punitive damages, 93A cases, whatnot. Those are not taxable generally. There's an exception for emotional distress where there's no physical injury. But again, if you have that type of case, work with your lawyer, work with your tax professional. It can be structured, the settlement agreement or the jury verdict, prior to the verdict, the wording of the proposed jury verdicts can be structured so that it would not be taxable. So again, the bottom line, personal injury settlements are not taxable. Work with your lawyer, work with your accountant, but do not worry about this when you're trying to settle and resolve a case. It should not be a factor in determining what to do. Call an experienced attorney if you have questions. At Burns & Jain, our phone number is 617-227-7423. We've been doing this type of work since 1985. We're effective, we're aggressive, and we care about you. Call Burns & Jain. Thank you.